Well, the STEM field has typically been filled with men, but not for long. A summer program here in Huntsville is helping young girls learn about the construction industry and how they can build a future in it. Our Ayanna Willoughby tells us what they've been working on.
Teenage girls are the future of construction in Huntsville. Girls Inc. and the North Alabama Homebuilding Academy partnered together to give 8th grade girls hands-on construction training thanks to the Eureka program.
So it's been incredible watching these girls learn a new skill and fall in love with a new industry that they never thought imaginable for them.
The free summer camp lasts for 4 days and the girls got advice from local successful women in STEM. The young ladies used power tools to build birdhouses and benches. Camp leaders and adults were around to supervise and give assistance when needed, but for the most part, they were on their own.
So it wasn't really already kind of built. We just had an instruction manual and we had our wood. That's really it, but we had to put it together ourselves.
Through all of the challenges, the girls were able to come together and build several sturdy benches that will be placed across the city.
Sometimes it was challenging, like when we drilled wrong, we would have to undrill and then drill it again, but most times it was very easy and simple.
Girls Inc. hopes to help the young girls in Madison County push past any gender, economic, or social barriers standing in their way.
I feel like being in this program really helped me a lot because I don't like getting dirty. I don't like doing this type of stuff, but being in this program around other construction workers and being around other people my age that likes to do it helped me a lot.
The North Alabama Homebuilding Academy is a nonprofit organization that provides short-term training for those interested in working in residential construction. This hands-on program is free of charge. Putting the Valley first, Ayanna Willoughby, WZDX News.